swing. You lost your sandals and your pride last week. Got choked out again at tobacco plus OGs.
And good evening. We are live. It is the Group Chat Podcast live on this Wednesday. We will be talking about Gulf State Wrestling's weekend event. We've got a lot of reaction from that, and I will ask the $1 million question. What possessed these two guys to get back at it? Are they now retired, or is there maybe more coming in the future? We'll talk about that. We will talk about Teddy Bridgewater. I'm going to get fired up and pissed off about this. He was suspended for what I think is being a really good coach. We will talk about UFC this weekend. We got a lot of boxing this weekend. Manny Pacquiao fighting this weekend. We'll do a little NBA Summer League. Cooper Flagg playing well. The Pelicans guys, Goldberg's whining, so it's a day that ends in a Y. We got a Netflix special about the SEC Media Days, and almost Twitter got hacked. So I want to give an atta-girl to Jolie Kale for being invited to the Junior Day Volleyball Showcase event at Southeastern Louisiana University. Her performance at the regional event earned her an invitation to attend Junior Day National Prospect Showcase in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Down the Bayou listeners, I'm telling you now, I'm going to say like Paul Heyman, this is a spoiler. This is not a prediction. Lady Tarpon Volleyball this year is going to be very, very good. They have all but one player back off of a team that made it to the second round of the postseason, and they're loaded. Congratulations to Jolie, and we look forward to following the Lady Tarpons throughout the course of the season.
Jolie's dad, Ryan, is a big fan of the show. He's always sending in questions and just giving us little stuff to talk about, so appreciate that.
Good. Let's jump right into it. We were at Gulf State Wrestling this past Saturday. Hope you guys enjoyed some of the content that we spit out so far. I'll get right to it. Lead off. I mean, we're going to talk about the title changes and the different things of the sort, but we had an unretirement, kind of, sort of, for two Hall of Famers. Nick and Damon, for the first time in 20-plus years, got involved in a wrestling show. I don't want to break down the fourth wall here. I don't know that this was scheduled beforehand. To the best of my knowledge, I think this just kind of was impromptu on Saturday. But you guys got involved. We got video of it. It actually happened. We posted it. Are you guys done with this? Is this just a one-off, as they would say in the business? Are you guys open to more in the future?
So the more I think about it, we may have been alerted a couple weeks ago, but my ADHD ass just forgot, I guess. And then when it came down to it, a lot of the people that were supposed to be involved didn't show up. So we were elevated to Hall of Fame status that I did not know, which is awesome. The first time I've ever been inducted to a Hall of Fame. Congratulations
on that. Hey, let me ask you this. I know they always say wrestlers never retire. It's always going to be in your blood at some point. Be real with me. Laying that right hand into the dude's jaw, that felt good, didn't it?
It was cool to be able to get out there in front of 600 and 700 people because it was a massive crowd out there. I may be a lot lighter than I was back in 2001, which is the last time I was 16 years old or 17 years old. The last time I got in the ring. It's a hell of a journey with a fake ID could get you. That was the cool part, to be able and not get booed. Normally when I'm in front of that many people right now at 30, 40 years old, I'm somewhat getting booed.
Getting ejected from the gym?
No, because it's not happening.
Not happening again.
I can't speak for Nick, though.
Here's the thing here. My guy was all jacked up. Bro, I'm going to be the biggest heel in the place. We're going to do the pre-show. I'm going to be the biggest bad guy. I'm going to be shooting on Mustang Mike. Then the second he gets offered a chance on the show, he was willing to sell out to all that. Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, Mr. Mike.
How it happened.
Sure, Mr. Mike. I'll be a baby.
That's not how it happened. Mustang said, hey, we good to see you. GCW, GSW Hall of Famers. We're going to have a little ceremony for y'all before the opening match. Want you to come out. We're going to put you in front of the crowd, announce you as Hall of Famers. Then these two guys just started talking noise. We walk out there, me, Damon, Big Joe Marlboro. This is how it happened. They announces GCW Hall of Famers, Joe Marlboro, Brody Young, Shane Thunder. We walk out there. These dudes start talking noise. They kind of came in our little area and, had to give them some knuckle sandwiches.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I hurt myself.
You were a little concerned about the wrist.
I'm still swollen.
We were in a tight entranceway, 3 dudes, and first punch, land, but this arm hits the guardrail.
Oh.
I didn't notice until afterwards, but man,
I had to go.
video,
I had to
those
go
punches-
around you because they were all on your
Yeah,
side.
that's
I'm
all
like,
right.
I got to get my
Those
lick.
punches look pretty good on video.
Pretty good.
Shout out to Big Joe Marlboro from Homa. Back in the day, he was really cool with us. And same thing, 25, 24 years later. Said, hey, bro, we'll take you lead. Let's go.
So let me ask you this. Damien said it ain't a comeback. If Mustang Mike says, hey, man, we're going to do a show in cutoff. I need a tag partner, 6-man, me rocking and somebody against these young punks. You in?
Okay. I am mid-40s. My knees are in their mid-90s. There is no way in hell I'm working any kind of match. If you need me to come in for a little run-in, for a little spotty every once in a while, we could do that.
I'll say this. I'll go on record. If we do a wrestling show in cutoff or golden medal, one of the two, and if it's a benefit for something that I'm heavily involved in, I'm in. I'm in probably the best shape of my life right now. Still not in good shape, but the best shape of my life. And why not?
I'm into.
Well, just like that. Just like Saturday. I'm the biggest heel in the building. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Mike. I'll go and be a baby face.
No, y'all two were both being baby faces, so it's like somebody's got to be the heel in this. When I go to those wrestling shows, I feel it as soon as I get in there. It's like riding the bike.
What was the name of y'all tag team?
Young Thunder.
That's what Young Thunder's all about. More about that later.
We'll come. Look, if we're doing something for a good cause, I could swing a couple more.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
But I'm not losing.
No yob.
I need that in my contract.
No yob. The show I thought was really good. I thought that there were some high points. I thought that there were some not so high points. But all in all, I think we would agree. I think it was 3 hours of entertainment well spent. We enjoyed ourselves. We weren't paying customers, but even if we would have been, I think we would have said, hey, that was $16 well spent. I think I enjoyed myself. I think I can speak for everybody.
We got 100% swerve
We got
in our pre-show.
Did we?
Bad.
How did we not?
Because I really think it's a legit situation.
It is, but I'm the biggest baby face ever. We love everybody, and then he's going to go and punch his guy.
It's 100% legit, the situation.
Yeah.
But the chat even asked if he had something up his sleeves, and he just kind of brushed us off. Oh, my sleeves or whatever.
Have no sleeves, me.
Little did we know he's turning on his brother-in-law or something later on.
So y'all think he worked us?
Oh,
yes.
100%. We got bamboozled.
Absolutely. What was the guy's name?
Pretty Tony.
Tony.
Wear that as a hat next time I see you.
Pretty Tony. Oh, he owes it. Big Ramp lost. He does have to wear Pretty Tony as a hat. What did y'all like about the show? What was some of the high points?
Man, I got to tell you, I had a freaking blast doing the pre-show. I thought that was awesome. I think we were somewhat prepared. I mean, we're all big wrestling fans in general. We called the match of the night before anything even started and before even seeing the two people in the ring. So I thought that was a really good match. That was Andreas and Wes Warren, who TJO kind of gave me the scouting report on. Look, and we're call a spade a spade. We questioned whether or not the main event should have been the main event with Mustang being in the co-feature. I get it. It's the Federation's championship. That goes last. And Brimstone and what's his last name? Is it Koloff?
Koloff.
The one you got chastised for?
You are a virgin. You do not know my last name.
They put on a hell of a match. They literally beat the out of each other, and it was awesome to see. So that's kind of the high points. I thought Gil and Mustang did exactly what they needed to do. The crowd was on their feet.
The street fight, the story was good. The turn was too fast. But I really think Killer Shane was legitimately hurt, and everybody was kind of like, what do we do? Because the situation where you and I, you could even hear it on the video that we're talking about. You and I are even like, what's going on? Like, they sat him down in a chair in the middle of the ring and gave him water during, like, I don't think that was planned.
It wasn't even that long into the match. So it just seemed like the guy might have like separated his shoulder or something. I mean, maybe that's what they intended to do. And we just got worked on that. We bit on their little fake injury thing, but it just seemed like he had something wrong, that the match was just kind of him laid on the floor the whole time and the other guy doing stuff to him.
It's one of the coolest things. And I'll set this up for the folks that weren't there and folks that didn't see it on any type of video. But the guy that we're talking about, he was on our pre-show, Pretty Tony. Him and Killer Shane are related. I think Shane's son may have passed away.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the 10-bell salute for his son, Michael White came out at like 5 or 6 and popped everybody in the building, including the folks in the back. It takes a certain person to be able to handle that type of heat.
I don't know that I could have done that. As much as I like to be like kind of a jerk, I do not know that I could have done that.
Carlton said you could be like Paul Bearer. Absolutely, Carlton.
Who's that said they want me to be a prick manager with a megaphone and a tacky suit? Oh, my brother. Yeah. Jimmy Hart. I could eat baked beans and like he did on what was the show? Legends House. All Jimmy Hart ate was baked beans the whole time he was at Legends.
Who knew baked beans would be such a big deal?
Tommy says everyday Casey just as a manager. Yep, pretty much, dude. Already a heel.
Yep.
I could come out with a tennis racket. I think maybe a golf club would be better given the circumstances.
How about a gym outfit?
Yeah, fair enough.
And a pickleball racket.
Everything that you just
Yeah,
said.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I know Tommy wasn't at the wrestling show. How was your fishing, brother?
I'm still a little bitter about that. I wasn't gonna comment.
How did your marlin fare on the board?
Yeah, it doesn't get on the board, which is why
I know. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I know. Manager.
Hey, legit question. Because I saw some pictures from last year at Blue Boot that somebody was weighing in a marlin. Was that a category last year?
No, that was a swordfish.
There was a swordfish.
And there were 3 of them caught. Yeah, apparently they both have swords in their beaks, but they're not the same.
Y'all couldn't just like disguise it, dress it up as a swordfish, kayfabe it as a swordfish? Or
if you don't think I'm typing up a petition as we speak to get new categories that Blue Boot's forward.
Now we got it. Now we got it.
So speaking of Marlins, right off the top of your head, who's your favorite Florida Marlin ever?
Gary Sheffield.
Solid.
Gary Sheffield, hell yeah.
Dontrell Willis.
Charlie Huff.
Knuckleballer.
Charlie Huff was...
That was my backup.
Charlie Huff was a huge deal to me.
So random stat. In fact, you probably know this, being a big Charlie Huff guy. He started their first ever game.
Yep. I have an autographed
I was
Charlie
about
Huff
to
ball.
say, wasn't he there? Yeah, he was the opening day starter for them.
He was 75 years old.
Yes,
he was their ace.
I think he was 46 years old.
Yes, he was. Old knuckleballer Charlie Huff. So, yeah, GSW, we had a great time. Can't thank Mustang Mike enough because literally it was, hey, whatever y'all need, make it happen. Yep. Let's shift gears, talk a little boxing for a second. We got Manny Pacquiao this weekend flying under the radar. We didn't even have it in the notes. I was talking to the boys here before the show like, hey, Pacquiao fighting this weekend, huh? We didn't know the line. We didn't know anything. Didn't even realize it was this weekend. But Manny Pacquiao does return to the ring after a long layoff. He is surprisingly a sizable underdog. He's more than a 2-1 underdog this weekend. He's old. He was wearing down before the layoff. Now he's coming back, and he's not fighting a tomato can. I mean, he's fighting a dude that obviously Vegas thinks is going to beat him, and Mario Barrio. What are we expecting from Manny this weekend? Underdog coming in. Is it a good bet to believe in Manny, or is Manny coming in here and getting his ass beat this weekend?
I was fully convinced that Pacquiao was going to be the runaway favorite in this, but hearing the conversation in the pre-show, I'm a little concerned now. I'm more along going in the lines of Vegas. My grandpa used to tell me a story. You know why they tear down hotels in Las Vegas? To build bigger ones. They don't lose.
That's exactly
which is a good thought process. But now you got me intrigued. Now I'm going to have to watch the fight. But at 46 years old, I've seen some training videos and read a couple things from Pacquiao's camp. He's ready to go. He's taking the fight seriously. I'm not picking against him no matter what Vegas is saying.
Well, here's the thing, D. The guy that he's fighting beat the dude that Manny lost to in his last fight in 2023. So Barrios beat Ugas from Cuba, which is the guy who beat Pacquiao in Pacquiao's last fight in 2021. I could see where it adds up to where he would be an underdog, but I also know that a Manny Pacquiao that's right is a Manny Pacquiao that's really good. I just don't know that a Manny Pacquiao that's right exists anymore in the year 2025.
I was told a long time ago, to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
By a guy who shit on himself at bars in Florida.
Okay, so it is you guys got it. We were just talking about. He beat Manny Pacquiao 115, 113, 116, 112, 116, 112.
And Barrios beat the shit out of him.
So Barrios versus Ugas. Barrios wins unanimous decision 117, 108, 118, 107, 118, 107. So he outboxed the shit out of this guy who outboxed Pacquiao. Pacquiao is 46 years old. This guy's 30, and this guy's a legit fighter. Pacquiao's in for a rough night.
If Pacquiao can't knock him out, which when was the last time Manny Pacquiao had a knockout? That was 2018.
Yeah, but he hadn't fought in years.
Even before that, if you go back
this guy is young and active and fighting top guys.
So let me
want me to take your money, just let me know. I'll take it.
Let me add to that. Manny Pacquiao has won knockout since 2009. Let's be real here. Let's be honest. Since Mayweather started questioning some of Pacquiao's tactics,
yes,
Manny Pacquiao has not been a power puncher anymore.
You saying he would do well in the Jacked Olympics that we talked about a couple of weeks ago?
Back in the gap, 100%. And, look, I am speculating. As soon as someone questions your, what you're doing, what you're using, and then all of a sudden you're not a power puncher anymore, it does look fishy.
So I'm a big data guy. I've accepted that in my day-to-day. We have a 52% chance for Mario Barrios from Barrios Seafood to win. Pacquiao's at 43%, but the stoppage probability for Pacquiao is at 17% and Barrios is at 14%.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. It's probably more likely that Barrios would get a decision win, more likely that Manny would land a punch and knock him out.
My guy Renee Toops in the chat saying he's all about Manny getting beat up.
It's 6 years since Manny Pacquiao has won a fight. He lost his last one in 2021. I think he's in over his head in this guy against Barrios.
And I'll be frank, the fight against Keith Thurman, which was his last win, he lost. He won a split decision. I watched that fight. He lost that fight.
And Thurman's good, but he's not at that top level.
Yeah.
I can't tell you this. Looking at the undercard for Saturday night at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Ice will probably have a busy night.
There were some Ice jokes being made in Morgan City. A lot of the heels were going there. They were breaking it out. They were talking about maybe having a special appearance. So Barrios, you going Barrios?
Absolutely.
I'm going Barrios. You're going Manny?
I'll be the odd man out.
Okay. Let's talk about the heavyweight fight. Because we do have a heavyweight fight, and then we also got some UFC to talk about. Usyk, the big heavyweight guy that's kind of taken over the sport, is a big favorite this weekend. He is going to be fighting against, and I'm pulling it up 1 second as my fan do. He's fighting Daniel Dubois in a fight that I would imagine is probably abroad because I see it scheduled to start at 4 o'clock on Saturday. I said Usyk. It's Usyk. Any drama there? I know with the heavyweights it's kind of hard, right? I mean, there's one punch you could be down, but we're not expecting any drama here. Usyk has been pretty good. He's been pretty solid. He's a huge betting favorite. He's undefeated, 23-0. Any drama this weekend for the big heavyweight?
He is the best heavyweight in the world right now. His work rate is tremendous for a heavyweight, and there's a reason that he's undefeated. The dude literally does not stop, and I don't know what kind of shelf life that has for him, but right now he's the best in the world. How old is he? 38
He's up
old.
there, yeah, 38. And he did knock out Dubois in 2023 in the 9th round. In a fight that he was dominating before the knockout.
Yeah, well, these two guys fought 2 years ago, and
So what's the point of fighting again if you knock the guy out in the 9th round?
Make more money and knock his ass out again.
Now, okay. So I'm asking myself and doing research at the same time. It looks, and no, that it was almost a sweep on every card. It was 79-72 twice and 78-73. So
who was winning though?
Usually was beating his ass. Yeah, it was.
I wasn't sure. I see the scores, but I wasn't sure who was actually.
You want to do a 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Absolutely, sure.
So Dubois fought Trevor Bryan. Trevor Bryan fought Jonathan Guidry.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
We need to get Jonathan Guidry back in the ring, dude. I know he's itching. I know he's chomping at the bit. Like I know you said a few shows ago you think he's kind of plateaued out. We got to get him another fight.
I don't know how you win those high-level fights and then you...
No, just nothing. Don King, I got nothing for it. Well, I know how. He had a round where no one threw a punch.
But
that's part of it.
Same thing happens with like Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, fair enough. So we go on the big heavy. I mean, the big Ukrainian, he's going to win decisively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one would be good.
Referee is Luis Pabon. That is the best name for a referee. If we had more Pabon basketball referees around here,
I think we need more.
I think the point is y'all have too many.
But they don't admit it. This guy admits it. Changed his name to Luis Pabon.
There's a guy. We saw a really shitty wrestling referee Saturday too.
George Strong.
Red shoes. Tommy, are you planning on watching the fights this weekend? You got Pacquiao, you got the heavyweight. What you got?
I'm not planning on watching either of the fights this weekend, but if you're asking me to bet, well, actually, don't ask me to bet, because all I know is I want Poirier to lose.
You want who to lose? I'm sorry.
Isn't Poirier fighting tonight? This weekend?
Flaw Johnson?
Yeah, see, I don't know.
You talking about UFC? We didn't get to that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's coming up next, brother. We got the UFC in New Orleans. We'll dive right into that. It's a good segue Tommy gave us. We have UFC. This is part of our trade that we made with the WWE with no WrestleMania. We got this UFC show. We got Money in the Bank next year, and we're getting a WrestleMania to be named later, all in exchange for the next WrestleMania to be back in Las Vegas. We got Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway for the title. Poirier's final fight of his career. And what is this? The bad motherfucker title? BMF?
Baddest motherfucker title.
I thought that's what it was. Holloway is favored at minus 130. I got to tell you, man, as much as it would be a good story for the hometown guy to win, we talked about this with wrestling, and wrestling's a little different because it's predetermined. But that's allegedly. That is a lot of pressure fighting at home. The crowd's going to be, rooting for you. You're going to get 1 million ticket requests from all your buddies, everybody you went to high school with, everybody. I hate to say this because I'm not rooting for this to happen, but I understand why Holloway is favored. And if I were a betting man, I do think he might end up winning on Saturday and playing the villain.
Can I do what I do best and just hate?
Sure.
So I'm not a UFC guy. I watch when the big names are in action, and I try to keep up because obviously I got to have some type of opinion on it when we're chatting about it, right? One of the last times, and I don't know if it is the last time, but one of the last times that Poirier fought,
it was his last.
We watched it in our garage right here, which is left of our awesome set that we have right now. And when they announced them, everybody we probably had, Nick, 20 people in the garage. We had a bunch of people over. They announced them from Coconut Creek, Florida, and everybody instantly turned on them. So now that you're coming to fight in New Orleans, are there bets being taken of where he's going to be announced that he's from? Like, is he going to be from Kaplan, Opelousas, or Coconut Creek? That pissed me off, and I'm now a number one hater for Dustin Poirier.
Well, look, far be it for people from Lafayette to want more for themselves than what they actually are. That's what their university does. So why not, the guy who's representing the city in the UFC? Tommy, take it away. I know you'd like to rebuttal.
No, I'm going to agree with Damien on this. I have never liked Poirier, however you want to say it. I think he's overrated. And truth be told, I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan, so I just can't stand him.
How is he overrated?
I never thought he was that good. I think he gets too much credit for McGregor breaking his steroid-infested leg.
Come on. Okay, so I followed Dustin Poirier. I kind of have a good feel on this fight. This is the third time these two guys fight. He fought him in 2012. Poirier beat him by submission, a mounted triangle. They fought in 2019. Poirier beat him, basically swept him on points, unanimous decision. Okay, so they're both very good strikers. Poirier got knockout power, and Holloway is a volume puncher, and he can go all night. One thing, Holloway starts off slow. Poirier needs to start off fast and attack, but he needs to cut off the ring because he's not as fast as Holloway. Holloway's coming up from 135. I think it's 135 or 125. He's coming up regardless. So he needs to make it a phone booth fight. Just pick your shots. Don't try to get into a slugfest where you throw in 300 punches because that's what Holloway wants. Mm-hmm. Take him to the ground. Poirier's a black belt. Holloway's not. He has a big advantage on the ground. Just take the fight to the ground, which is hard for him to do because, I'd imagine Holloway knows, hey, I don't want to go to the ground. So Poirier's going to have to take him to the ground and get a submission.
So, and again, MMA fans, you're going to cringe as I'm saying this. For Poirier to have the advantage, it needs to, quote unquote, be a more boring fight.
Right, exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Are we going to pick this one? Who you got? You said he beat him twice. Who you got?
I'm going with Poirier for the 3-0. Talk to Owen.
See, I can't do it, man. I think he's slowing down a little bit. I think fighting at home is not going to be a help. I think it's going to be a hindrance. I'm going Holloway. I think for a lot of the things that you just said, that little extra adrenaline is going to make him want to throw and make it a slug. I think it's not going to be good for him. I'm going Holloway this weekend.
Casey, you listen to Nick talk too much about Mustang Mike having to sell tickets.
He's exhausted.
Did he sway your opinion on this bout?
Did you see him in the match? I was right. He was tired.
Tommy, who you got this weekend?
Holloway, knockout.
Knockout.
No
wow.
way.
Wow. Damien?
I could see Holloway winning by stoppage with leg kicks because Poirier just basically says, fuck your leg kicks and doesn't really protect himself. But if it's going to end in a knockout, it's going to be Poirier knocking him out. If it's going to end unanimous decision, it's probably going to be Holloway. Ends by submission, definitely Poirier.
If Poirier announces himself from Lafayette, I'm going to go with Poirier. And if he announces himself from Coconut Creek, he's going to get booed out the building and he's going to lose.
There's a guy here on the undercard. There's no way this is the real name. Patricio Pitbull?
Yeah.
That's the actual name? That's not a gimmick name?
UFC is very much like professional wrestling.
So that's not actually his name, by the way. It's Patricio Andre de Souza Ferreira, professionally known as Patricio Pitbull. Okay, that gives me more faith in humanity that it's not his last name being Pitbull. Well, we're more excited about boxing or the MMA. I know you guys are boxing fans. I think Tommy's more of an MMA fan. Which one are you guys going to be paying the closest attention to?
I'm gonna be boxing this weekend. I think we're
I think this is a bigger UFC fight than any of those boxing matches.
But is it just because you know the dude? Like
I guess, but I mean, it's in our state. It's a local guy.
Well, let me ask you this: are you going?
Absolutely.
I want to see
huge event.
I want to see Manny Pacquiao, but I'm also curious though, because WWE has a list where they rank the crowd, like the cities, and like how good of a crowd they are. New Orleans is graded as a C+. We only get WrestleMania because it's no one from New Orleans that's there. The Raws and the SmackDowns in New Orleans are pretty shitty because we don't have a great wrestling crowd here.
Yeah, they'll sell wherever.
They put big ramp on that WrestleMania card. That place is going to be packed.
John Cena eats hot dogs the long way. I'm curious to see what type of a UFC crowd we have and if they're going to actually be into it this weekend.
Chances are, I was going to say the people who predominantly like UFC can't afford the UFC tickets because they're spending their money on protein shakes and gym memberships.
And affliction shirts.
Oh, I love you, Tommy.
Correct. And both to answer your question, I know you were going to throw it back to me, and I'm going to take this one. I am actually more intrigued by Power Slap 14 this Friday in New Orleans.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that.
The main event, Damien the Bell Dibell fighting against Wesley Meade. And I think this could be a distant relative, Conor McGregor, Dakota McGregor, fighting Robert Trujillo in the main card. So I believe this is one of the first United States appearances of Power Slap outside of Vegas. And for some reason, it's at Xavier. So I don't know exactly what's going on with this. There's an after party at Caesars, but there's a couple of rematches on this card, and I'm more intrigued. I think it's actually free on YouTube. I'm going to be watching that shit. Because I don't know if you've seen the little highlights. That's crazy. These dudes slap the shit out of each other.
Tommy, are you doing anything weird with your phone, bro? Because it sounds like almost like you're swimming right now, brother. You guys hear that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm literally in a pool right now.
Now that sounds
now. Yeah. Now we got you. I don't know if it wasn't like you weren't speaking directly into the mic. Now we got you good.
Oh, but Tommy's right. That slap contest crap, that is entertaining as all hell. And it is free streamed on YouTube if you don't want to make the journey to Xavier and risk your life in the city. But that's something like Kim, everything that she likes in the world, she wanted to go to that.
How does that get sanctioned? Like, okay, commissioner, here's what we're going to do. We're going to line up people and they're going to just, without any defense, just hit each other in the, like, how does that get sanctioned?
I mean, it's the same thing as boxing. I'm sure there's protocols and you got to go through doctor's exams and whatnot, but yeah.
Man, but you're right. I think it's entertaining as hell.
It started in Russia. I'm assuming just a bunch of drunk Russians smoking vodka. Well, I'm sorry, not smoking. You know, I was taking shots, smoking as an adjective, and just nailing each other. And all of a sudden, you know what? We're going to turn this into a sport. People got wind of it and said, we could do it too. And now it's turned into this spectacle.
With all the concussion shit and the CTE awareness.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm here for it.
I'm assuming there's some heavy waivers getting signed on this because I've seen some of these dudes' faces, and it's nothing pretty.
It's brutal. It is freaking brutal. I could tell you that.
We've been talking about fighting. We talked about wrestling. Now let's talk about something that I think is going to piss off all of us, frankly. The Teddy Bridgewater situation. Teddy Bridgewater was suspended from the coaching position that he accepted in Miami, Florida, for giving impermissible benefits to his players. So you hear that and you're thinking, well, he's paying the star running back $5,000 to go to school there. So, because that's what we think of when we hear impermissible benefits. No. Impermissible benefits were deemed he was buying pregame meals for his team, field paint, physical therapy, and other things that he paid for out of his pocket, including Uber rides for underprivileged players to be able to get to and from practice every day. The amounts were totaling six figures. He paid more than $100,000 during the course of the season. But what the fuck harm is this? He is trying. Look, I've coached. You've coached. Damien's coached. Tommy's doing it right now with his youngins. If you're not paying for something for your team out of pocket at some point, you're doing it wrong. At the end of every season, my teams we're having a pizza party. Who was paying for the pizza? I'm not sending an invoice to Delin. I bought the pizza. Like, this is just what you do. You get invested in this. You love the kids, and you invest in the kids. And it just so happens that, yes, Teddy Bridgewater is a multimillionaire who played in the NFL for several years, so he's got the resources to do this. Why in the fuck would this be illegal? Why would they stop him from doing this?
I can't wrap my mind around it. And I originally heard you guys talking about it on Play-by-Play, and I'm glad it ended up as a topic of discussion tonight. I think I texted you while I was listening to it.
You said you wanted to talk about it.
If this was an issue for the lay folks like us, I'd be out of a job because, look, during holidays, basketball, middle school basketball, school basketball in general falls at an awkward time. It's in the holidays, right? So how do you get kids to get out of bed and come to practice other than wanting to be better? Well, you feed them.
Feed them, absolutely.
Coach Colley told me that a long time ago. If you feed them, they showing up. I provide breakfast every holiday practice during Thanksgiving time, during Christmas break, every time. It probably cost me about $100 every practice, but it's getting kids there. I mean, they're invested. I'm invested. And travel ball this year, I'm probably out $2,000 since the beginning of the season. It's ridiculous. I think he got picked on because A, he's having success, and B, he's got the money.
Just impermissible benefits. Okay. Tommy, you're the legal guy here. This feels like somebody went into the FHSAA rule book, found something, and just turned this into a loophole, which turned into a loophole, which turned into a loophole. And it feels like this is something that if it got into the courts, it probably could get overturned. But Teddy Bridgewater's like, you know what? Well, I don't even really want to deal with this. I'm a volunteer anyway, and just kind of separating himself from the issue. But I don't think any of this would hold up deep down, right? I mean, this is what coaches do.
So I can't speak on what would happen in Florida, but obviously if they're anything like LHSAA, we know that those rulings don't always make sense either. So what I do think happened is a similar thing in that somebody somewhere snitched. And granted, I didn't do a full-blown investigation. I was busy today, but I had read some reports that apparently it was possibly the quarterback club of his own school who might have ratted him out because they weren't getting control of the funds that he was contributing. Almost like one of those situations where they wanted to be in control of the money and maybe embezzle some for themselves and say, oh, we're responsible for providing stuff to the kids. And he was just kind of doing it on his own. And so I think what they did is turn that into a situation where, well, if we let Teddy do this with his own private money, what's stopping some other dude from using his own private funds, as a quote unquote volunteer to enhance the status or playing field of other schools. But by all means, he was having success in turning this program around. But from what I was reading, and I can't verify that, but I thought that was an interesting wrinkle that it's almost like his own booster club was ratting him out because they weren't getting the money or the support, and he was doing it solely on his own.
That's so dumb. Like, he wasn't paying the kids. He wasn't like, you're not on salary just because you play football. He was buying them Uber rides.
Right.
He was paying for meals. Like our football team gets free meals from just people donating stuff. Like, what's the harm in that? These kids need to eat.
Everything that Tommy just said, though, think about what we know about athletics at certain schools and certain environments. You have a program that is a Miami program, probably run by some snooty, well-to-do people.
No, not that school. That school was like
that was one. Okay, well, either way, you get money involved. Teddy's getting a lot of credit. He's coming in. They win the championship last year. Hey, this motherfucker's getting all the credit. Nuh-uh. We want, and you start making things happen.
How about this? Pissed off parent or the kid's not playing.
Yeah.
That could very well have been it as well.
100%. And look, we live in a world today, and don't you folks tell me that stuff like this doesn't happen here, because this is the same community that a baseball coach in our area got knocked out cold a day after winning the state championship. A day after winning the state championship by a parent who was upset that his kid didn't play in the state championship game. So let's not act like this is something that wouldn't happen here. It absolutely would. These types of things happen all over the place. It's why we have a hard time finding coaches anymore, because they don't want to deal with this crap, man, where even if you're winning, even if you're doing stuff out of the goodness of your heart, you got to deal with bullshit from people who don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, my God. Preach.
Yes.
That happens at every level. I'm sure it happens at the high school level. I know it happens at the lower youth level. And, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And look,
what is field paint?
Yeah, they had a grass field.
Why would the kids need to pay for that themselves? He's paying for that. Like,
it's an impermissible benefit,
Well,
bro.
the kids might not be paying for it. But it just might be the
It
school.
could be that the kids, I know, like for a while in Salafouche, we used to have to paint. That was part of our PE. We would go paint the freaking football field. We weren't buying it, but we were doing the labor. But we wanted to. It was better than being in class.
Tommy, you know what Salafouche doesn't do this, because they have turf, but you know what they actually do now to paint the field? You buy a drone, put the little can of paint, program the dimensions, and the robot paints the field for you. Homer Christian and Vanderbilt have that. Nobody actually paints the fields anymore.
It's a damn shame. Between painting the fields for PE and then I remember go to Meadow football games, the treat was if you did good the game before, you would get bought to go clean up the stadium the next day, and you would get Burger King breakfast. So now that I'm thinking about that, as soon as I said it, impermissible benefits were going around Go to Meadow in 1997.
Golden Meadow needs to go on probation.
Still going on today.
We would never do that up here in LaRose cutoff area for our middle school.
You know, I heard there were some folks getting some flack about, non-teachers that are coaching and whatnot. But some of those folks, and I'm not saying all because it's not all, but some of those folks have more investment into that and able to provide stuff for their kids that they maybe normally would not have than some of the teachers that maybe just taking it for the stipend to make more money. They're not going to invest in the program when you're just in it strictly for money. That's a very in general statement.
Yeah.
Not localized or anything like that. From what a little birdie told me, that non-staff coaches were getting some flack.
Terrible. I mean, you got an inner city school. These kids are struggling. You got somebody trying to help them, and you're going to try to stop that from happening because you're petty and you're upset. No, it's just
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think an interesting dynamic too, and I was going to kind of say this, but you just opened up a whole is. What if this was an instance in where some of these private school kids are seeing the cool things that Teddy Bridgewater's doing for his players and kind of nudging their parents like, hey, our private school coach is a dick. Can I go play at the public school? Like, is it possible? Or vice versa? Like, you have these rules in place at all these public schools, like your kids have to attend school, have to do that. And they're struggling to do that. So if you have a coach who's like, the way to keep these kids out of trouble, the way to keep them off the street, so to speak, because, that's a bad neighborhood in Miami. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Hey, we want to make sure they're doing the right thing. Let me go get them. I mean, I remember when I played in Salafouche, the odd occasions that I had to ride to games with the coach. There were a couple of kids in our team that my mom brought home almost every game. And if you couldn't hitch a ride with a fellow teammate or something, your coaches were bringing you home in their truck. Like, that's just what you do to get your best players to the game. You're literally going to the game anyway.
The only thing I disagree with you right there, Tommy, is the best. You said best players. That's any player. That's 1 to 12 on your roster, whatever that is. And look, I'm all about helping people out. I'm blessed to be in the position that I am. And you don't know that one meal in that day might be the only time that kid eats. You just don't know. I got an old school story about years and years ago going down the road and seeing somebody with their windshield wipers on there in the summertime when it wasn't raining. Okay, great. Obviously, everybody kind of pokes fun of that. You don't know what that person's dealing with, that they can't take that off. And that's just a summary of, you don't know what somebody else is dealing with until you're in that situation. And to pass judgment on that and to rat somebody out for doing some good things is ridiculous.
It's chicken shit. And look, true story. And we could jump into SEC Media Days after this. True story. With the Flash, whenever we were coaching Flash, we all, after a tournament, go to Wendy's. We had some boys not from the Bayou on the team, and I saw they were just kind of standing in the back line. Coach, I'm not hungry. I go up to one of them. I'm not going to mention the name. Go up to him. Hey, like, you sure you good? Like, I got you if you need it. He said, yeah, I actually am kind of hungry. The kid didn't have any money. And it's not that he forgot his wallet. Really, like, he was a young kid who was sent to the event with us, didn't have any money. So, I mean, that's just what you do. What am I supposed to do? Let the kid not eat while we're all eating? No, you do things like that when you're in the position. And anybody who tries to blockade that, just a chirp. So
Marcus said he's reporting the Lions immediately. Just wait till October to report. We might have some bigger things coming.
Statute of limitations, pal. I'm saying, those people ain't even there. Burger King's about to not even be.
Let's talk about SEC Media Days. First and foremost, Netflix released the trailer for an SEC series that looks like it's going to be incredible. It's going to follow, I don't know why my Siri just got triggered. I didn't say your name. But anyway, it's going to follow LSU against South Carolina last year. It's going to follow several other SEC schools playing prominent games. It looks legit. I'm going to be watching. It's going to kill time between now and the season. What are you thought? Have you guys seen the trailer? It looks like something I would be very interested in.
I have not seen the trailer, but just knowing the gist of what the show is going to surround is going to be awesome. It's going to be must-watch TV, especially for LSU fans and just SEC fans in general. We talked about how cool it would have been in 2019 to have cameras in the LSU locker room. Well, now we're going to somewhat get that. And it's going to be good TV. And it'll definitely kill some time, and it'll probably be one of those things that I let the episodes build up and kind of just binge watch as I go through it.
Do you guys think that we're more willing to open up the college doors now because less things are illegal?
Right. I believe so.
Yeah, I really think that's the case. Like before, we would have never had a Hard Knocks College because we don't want to see Jamarcus Russell getting paid.
The less people see, the less you can get in trouble.
Right. I really think that it's going to be a situation where as more and more things become regulated or whatever it may be, we're still going to.
Is this show taking the spot of like a Last Chance U? Because I feel like that's really, really fallen off. When Buddy exited the show, it kind of went downhill. Buddy was must-watch Netflix television. You didn't know what was about to come out of that dude's mouth, who he was about to fight, who he was about to send home, what D1 prospects were going to end up in Shittown, Mississippi. That was a really, really good show.
Coach JB was pretty good too.
Coach JB was good. But after that, it was kind of crap. And the basketball ones have been really bad, but you could see the culture of basketball, how that works out.
So, Tommy, I want to ask you this, and along the same lines, I asked Damian about this Friday, and Coach Colley and myself talked about this on Friday. Now, the NCAA is enacted the schools paying players directly. So the $20 million cap and everything, that started on July the 1st. But there's now this like governing body that is overseeing NIL and is picking and choosing what is deemed a legitimate or illegitimate NIL deal. I mentioned you whenever I was talking about this to Coach Brian Colley. I mentioned you when I was talking about this with Damian. We're having some NIL deals get nixed because they're being deemed, quote, illegitimate. And my question is, and I think that this is a lawyer's dream, and I feel like you're licking your chops over there, how could the NCAA tell someone what is or isn't a legitimate investment into someone's business? This feels like it has lawyers, lawsuits, and being tied up in court written all over it. Counselor, the floor is yours.
Oh, well, absolutely. And I think we had kind of touched on this when we had mentioned it, a couple episodes back, that they hired this guy who used to audit, I think, the MLB and things like things of that. They formed this governing body. And I think it's anything upwards of $600 is going to get scrutinized and internally audited as not direct pay for play. And it's going to need to tie into some sort of actual endorsement deal, so to speak, or they're going to have to be a brand ambassador or represent some kind of product or do something further than just, hey, you go to Arkansas and Sam Walton owns Walmart, whatever it is. I forgot. No, that's the prep reform guy or whatever. But those kind of things, not just, hey, I'm going to North Carolina. Michael Jordan's going to pay you just because he went there. You have to be on the Jordan brand commercials. You have to wear the shoes and do something more than just attend the school. The short answer to your question is absolutely. There is going to be lawyers involved in all of this. And I think what's going to end up happening is, and I think I'd already kind of touched on this, is the NCAA was like leveraging to kind of get states to the legislatures of states to kind of back them up and say, hey, to control what's become the NIL Wild West, we're going to need you guys to pass some kind of laws too, to almost kind of coincide with what we're saying. We want to rein in the spending. We want to do this. And we want this budget, this 20.5 to be pretty much universal besides the star players that are getting these NIL deals. And I don't know what's going to come of that. I don't know if the state legislatures are going to agree with them. I have no idea.
It's interesting because I'm thinking about it. Okay, let's say tomorrow I wanted to pay, I don't know, a nickel student athlete $10,000 to come to a Bayou Sports event. You ain't got to wear no clothes. Now just show up because you being there is going to look cool. Is the NCAA going to say that's not legitimate? Like, how do you deem what I consider of value to my business? We all know what we're trying to get rid of. It's everything like what you just said, Tommy. It's Michael Jordan and Phil Knight and whoever saying, all right, I'm going to give you $10 million, go to Oregon. It's Portnoy saying, all right, Underwood, I'm giving you $10 million, go to Michigan. That's what we're trying to get rid of. But there is a lot of gray in terms of, like, you can't tell me what's of value to me and my business. Like, how are you going to say that to someone who is kind of sort of trying to stretch the rules, but there is sort of a business element to it. Again, there's a lot of gray area there, and this is going to get all sorts of traction for the legal types, such as yourself.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And so, yeah, it's the College Sports Commission that is going to oversee all this. And I think their purpose is going to kind of be, hey, yes, in so many words, I'm going to tell you what is of value to somebody's business because your boy shouldn't have got $10 million from Portnoy to go to Michigan in the first place. So we're sorry that, but we can't, it's grandfathered in. Yes, he could still get that money, but going forward, no. Like the brunt of all these salaries are going to come from this. And I think I'd actually found like LSU was, I prepped for one show and I think I just ended up being on that night, but they had set their budget between football getting like 75, 77%. I think it was baseball was the third tier. I think it was like women's basketball was like number 2 or something weird like that. So like they had already allocated what they thought they were going to pay sports, but they still felt good about, I guess their Todd Graves and all those kind of people chipping in for the rest. So I think yes, there's going to be lawsuits, there's going to be challenges, but I think the whole argument by the NCAA and the CSC is going to be like, look, we kind of agree with you, but the situation got so obscene, these people should have not been making that money. So these deals are more in line with what you should really, your name and likeness should be worth. AKA like you sell the jerseys, and people should want your jerseys, like your girl Flo J or whatever. Like she should be the highest the highest selling athlete, not just some new freshman. The person who's been there, who's turned down the NBA, who has on TV, who is all over King. That should be her contract. Should kind of nobody should be making more than her kind of thing. And I think that's the way you would kind of try to kill that bird.
But who in the fuck acts for this?
Right.
Until you have somebody regulating college coaches' salaries, I don't think Coach X should be making this. Okay, let's regulate that. Until you regulate athletic director salary and president of operations salary, I think it's all complete bullshit because if you are making that money, somebody thinks you're worth it. Even though you don't have any skins on the wall, somebody thinks you're worth that. It's good for one. Exactly.
It's the coaches. It's the coaches who are making
then
the millions.
somebody needs to regulate that.
I do not disagree with you, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened is all these coaches that were used to the old boy system and getting the recruits because of the name on the front of their jersey. When all these power players started popping about the woodworks and you got motherfuckers going to BYU now as 5-star athletes, something is all hell has broken loose.
And look, I'm not
It's out there
arguing with
like,
you.
whoa. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's exactly what probably happened. Is the coaches who are already making the millions or used to the good old boy system are saying, hey, I'm not good anymore. AK, you want to insert yourself here, Dabo Sweeney. I'm not good anymore because I can't get the dudes. Because the dudes are going to make money somewhere else. We got to rein this in. I'm not saying him particularly, but dudes like him are like, hey, we got to change this system. So
just normally in life, the people that want regulation need regulation.
I think another part of it, in addition, because I do agree with what y'all were just saying, like a lot of the old guard, the Sabins and the Dabos and everything, they were the ones that were calling for this because I can't be a dictator anymore. But I do think there is an element, and we've seen this now actually a couple of times. There are student athletes who enroll at a school via NIL money. They enroll early in January, do spring, and they're like, well, fuck, I'm not the king of the campus. And they transfer and leave before even playing a snap. And they don't have to refund any of that money. So I think what would maybe be a good compromise is, like we're seeing some of the people do. A Texas Tech student athlete had to do this. They signed a 3-year, $10 million contract as an NIL deal. Why don't we just do that? If you're not happy with the lack of longevity or loyalty or whatever it may be, let's contract the players.
Just make sure that if they get fired or get cut, that they could still receive $10 million a year after they get cut, like Coach O's doing, or anybody like that.
100%.
I just don't quite understand, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, if it's good for the players, if it's good for the coaches who aren't, I'm not going to say they're not generating any funds, but for the longest time, players could not benefit, and they were the ones generating the profits. It just, life doesn't work like that, and they got to get over it. And I said on Friday, I guess I'm on with it. I need to eat. No, I like this attitude. I said on Friday on play-by-play, I'm lucky to be good at what I do. And I've been offered some stupid money that I've turned down because I was good at what I did. At the time, was I good? No, but they saw potential and they knew what I can do. But, I mean, it didn't work out because I really love where I'm at. But it's kind of the same deal. If somebody thinks you're worth it, you're worth it.
I'm kind of I think, and I guess the first thing I should say is what's happening with these contracts that's exactly what it is. It's the structure and the wording of these contracts that are allowing for things like the buyout. So we would just have to reach a point where these contracts would become more common than, we've only been doing this, 2-3 years now. So maybe 5-10 years down the road, we're having those buyouts with players kind of thing. Because I do agree with Casey, and I've been saying this since the beginning, there needs to be more performance-based contracts with these kids coming in. Like if you sign up as a freshman, yes, I like you for your potential. You're whatever, Marcus Mariota's third cousin from his sister. I think you could run the option at Oregon, but you're not getting $1.2 million until you score 25 touchdowns and come back for your sophomore, that kind of thing. Or just, if you're turning the Johnny Manziel your freshman year, fine, here's $5 million, bro. Go to the bank. But I think it's just the situation where I forgot whose brother it was, like committed to play for a school with Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee, and then left and went join his brother in UCLA. It was the Tennessee's quarterback. My bad.
Yeah, Tennessee's
he committed to this, and then got the money and pieced out. Like, no, you should have to repay that. Like, what is your name and image and likeness before you even set foot in their field? Like, not even in the spring game.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a saga that's going to continue to be going on and on. It's going to be.
I love this. I love doing this, by the way. If you can't tell, we got some passion behind this, and we really enjoy what we do. Renee, we appreciate our comments. But look,
today. There's been double digits every time I've looked.
Until the coaches and the ADs are regulated, I don't want to hear about salary regulations for players because, all right, great. You want to do performance-based incentives for our players? Do it for coaches, too. You win 3 games, you're getting paid $100.
$100, he said.
Look, I'm for it both ways. I mean, look, I don't work on contingency fees for nothing. I don't make shit until my clients do. So if you think you're a badass coach and you're going to get all these kids, then built in what you in your contract say, hey, you want me to come in and do this job? This is what I need in my war chest. This is what I need in my office. This is my staff. Kind of like if you want to build a program and then the coach doesn't, they do that now. I mean, I think a lot of coaches get buyouts that they shouldn't have, but I think it should be a two-way street. Hey, I'm going to make you into a contender, but here's what I need. And then after year 2 or 3, you're not doing shit, ergo Billy Napier, then get the fuck out.
I thought this coach was a priest.
Let's talk about SEC Media Days for just a second. Brian Kelly is doubling and tripling down on the idea that LSU's really fucking good. He has said again, over and over again at his press conference Monday, they were the first ones out the gate. This is the best roster we got. He said the problem and the reason why we have not been winning championships
It's because of him.
is because we have not played championship defense the whole time I've been here. He said he and his staff met, said, what the fuck? What's going on? And he said his staff told him bluntly, Coach, we don't have championship level players. Damian, this is something I'll give credit to you. From the beginning of Brian Kelly's tenure, your one concern in the portal was, why are we signing these guys from McNeese and Ball State? Like, you got to go get some fucking hosses from Florida State, USC, and this offseason, they did. Their transfers were from big Power 5 schools. And Brian Kelly said, we weren't good enough personnel-wise on defense, and that's why we've been bad. It's not a coaching thing. He doesn't believe is that we don't have the Jimmies and the Joes and the dudes like we used to have. Now he believes they do. Paint a big old bullseye on his chest, but I see a lot of people saying, hey, look, that guy over there, he's kind of right. Like, their roster's loaded to the gills. LSU, on paper, looks like they're going to be really fucking good. Are you buying what Brian Kelly was selling Monday?
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm buying what he said, but I mean, he's still the guy that's going to be calling. I don't know if he's actually calling the plays, but he's the guy that's still in charge. And I don't have much faith in him. I mean, we got a tough game against Clemson week in whatever week it is, our first game. Yeah, do you believe that we're going to win that game?
Now I do. After hearing some, not because of anything he said, after reading some things that others are saying about LSU's roster versus Clemson, I think LSU's got a better team than Clemson does.
What I think is going to be pretty cool, seeing a lot of lists. Everybody likes lists because they get shared and get clicks and you get talked about. You might have the two best quarterbacks in college football facing each other in week one. I think that's going to be pretty legit.
Don't tell Feinbaum that. He's going to have a stroke.
What's the guy that said the Oklahoma guy was?
Man, so when you're a fan, you get literally blinded by certain things and you don't maybe pick up on certain things. Now that I'm, I guess, more even keel about Brian Kelly, that dude is so cringy. Even in the press conferences, like he tries. He's really trying, and I'll give him that. But that dude sticks out like a freaking sore thumb.
At least he's not trying to do a Cajun accent anymore.
No, he's given up on that. Thank God.
Can we get a group chat podcast NIL deal?
Absolutely.
I don't see why not.
I mean, I think we could print some headbands.
Is it legal in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
NIL is legal in high school.
It's not illegal yet. So let's do it, and I'm sure as soon as we do it, it'll be illegal.
No,
I know what you're thinking.
It is legal, dude. So, like, they put out a press release last year saying that now, like, you got to go through this LHSAA, like, thing and get approved before you could do it. But, like, if tomorrow I wanted to sign Emmy Ingram to an NIL deal and she wears, Bayou Sports gear around campus or whatever, I could do that. We absolutely could. Group chat, same thing.
What's the price roll on that? I mean, this needs to happen.
I mean,
there's no commission against it yet.
It's high school kids. They would take a fucking extra meat pie in the cafeteria, most of them.
That might be the thing. So Renee commented.
Benefits?
Yes, that's absolutely happening. Talking about Notre Dame fans told LSU fans that he would be a 3 to 4 loss coach. He is. This is exactly what he's been. They haven't lied. He's been a lot better of a recruiter than a lot of us anticipated, but yeah, he hasn't produced what his roster says he should be.
Look, Coach O left him a bad situation. 30 players on the roster, whatever. It does take a little time, but in the NIL era, it doesn't take this much time. This coming year, you better win. You better win, and you better make the college football playoff, because if not, there's a question in our mailbag, and it's another topic that's revolved around SEC Media Day that could very well be a possibility.
So not to get off I put a note way at the bottom, but one of the funniest things at SEC Media Day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Sarkeesian from Texas. I don't know if it was a troll or an honest mistake, but what they've been doing as the coaches come to the podium, they'll play the school fight song. and somebody got him with the Texas A&M fight song. And I don't even know if he said anything about it, but there was a lot of chatter about
that.
How
Has to have been like an intern or something that was doing that as a troll, right? Like,
I mean, if you labeling the music, you just have Texas A&M. I'm sure they're a lot more organized than most, but I wouldn't have walked out.
right.
Play my theme music like Dion, not that one.
Like, that's the thing. That's not like, that's your rival. I'm not walking out to.
You think he noticed?
That's what I'm concerned about, that he didn't. I would
Do
hope
you know your rival's song?
but you know your own.
Yeah. So he.
Ryan Kelly knows LSU's. He stayed on the stage the whole time it was playing.
He did like a Jack Swagger type of thing where he said, I'm not leaving until we the people. I'm not leaving until the song's over. We didn't list him in our Great American Gimmicks.
Right.
I
totally
I'll tell
missed
you this
that.
story. During the first WrestleMania in New Orleans, we're all outside the dome hanging out, and there's a big long line. They were selling beer out of like a tent outside of the dome. And I hear this one guy, because we were in like the middle of the line. We were still outside. We weren't close to the tent. I hear this one guy say, "Hey, everybody shut the fuck up." And I'm thinking like, okay, we got a problem. Like, what's going on? And then everybody gets quiet, and then the guy says, "Now we would like everybody to proudly put their hand over their heart. And as we all say together, we the people." And everybody did, and we all marked out. We all cheered after. So it went from what I thought was an act of terror to just a salute to Jack Swagger.
My 5-year-old daughter at the time, Kimberly, used to say, "We are the people." She was a big Jack Swagger fan.
Yes, she was. She was a big Sasha Banks, too, at one time, wasn't she?
No.
Or
Becky
Bayley.
Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
Becky Lynch.
still is.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, your brother's live in the chat, man. Family Traditions Woodwork, we need a NIL deal here. We need a desk.
I could maybe swing some.
We need like a whole set. Like we got sponsors that'll pay for it. We just need somebody to do the good work for it.
Yeah, Tommy, I'll send you $1 amount. Summer League, I know we just said the Pels are going to play in just a second.
We taking the L on Cooper Flag?
Let's talk about Cooper Flag. He played bad the first game. Got to give him his flowers. He played very well the second game. Then they sat him down. My thoughts really haven't changed. I mean, he's going to be all right. He's going to be okay. Tommy, I know you're going to wish nothing but ill on Cooper Flag, but exactly what Damien just said. I want to hear it. So what were your thoughts on Cooper Flag's Summer League performance?
I could not care less about anything else in the world right now than Cooper Flag.
All right.
I thought we had a good write-up on the Facebook promo. It said Flag making waves. I thought that was pretty crafty.
He does have shitty facial hair. So
who won that poll?
Poll?
Yeah, we did a poll.
I saw it. I did not see the results.
It's the latest group chat podcast poll that Nick could not coerce people into voting for him. Let's look that up.
Tom, you want me to tell you a secret? And I think it's something that you already know. The guy Queen that the Pelicans traded a future first for, even though he's getting double-doubles and stuff, he's fat. I don't think he could play in the NBA, bro. He had 8 turnovers the last. Like, he tries to do point forward stuff, then he just gets tired. He doesn't run down the court. That was not a good trade, dude.
I told y'all that. He was okay at Maryland, but like he's not going to play. He's a tweener.
If you go back and listen to the live stream, as soon as they drafted him, that is exactly what I said.
That's
so
all of us.
Group chat podcast a week ago asked, NBA Summer League is kicked off, and it's bad already. What's worse? The options were Pelicans rookie class first game stats, Cooper Flag's facial hair, Cooper Flag's undershirt, and grown men NBA coaches wearing shorts. The overwhelming winner with 50% of the votes was Cooper Flag's facial hair was the worst thing about Summer League.
It won without a runoff.
Thought it was a big grown men coaching in shorts.
Okay.
I hate that.
That wouldn't even be allowed at some of those tournaments y'all were going to.
That is the only possible thing that could be worse than a grown man wearing a T-shirt under a basketball jersey while playing the sport. I just don't understand. Where is that? And now people wear long sleeve, dry fit shirts like Under Armour. What are we doing? When did that become a thing besides the Evansville Aces with their little T-shirt jerseys? Like, I don't understand it.
You got to stay
warm. Why is it
man.
a phenomenon?
Stay warm.
Stay warm. Iverson only needed one sleeve, just your shooting hand. You don't need your whole body.
If you stay warm, you don't have to get warm.
That's right. But we're not doing this today on Saturday. You were warm in the parking lot that day. It was cold. That was in the middle of winter. Gyro's telling us to relax. Like, yeah, why would we be concerned about the Pels coming off of a 21-61 season?
Pels sunshine
Why
pumper,
would we
Gyro.
be concerned about that? Knowing that DeJounte Murray's probably not going to play half of the season because he tore his Achilles. Yeah, everything's hunky-dory, man. Yeah, everything's good.
We are kind of doomsday guys, but
we're not wrong in this case, though. Like, they were fucking terrible last year.
Oh, they didn't get better.
No, so
they got fatter.
Now, like, they're going to, okay, if they have better health, are they going to be better than 21-61? Yeah, absolutely, sure.
But when do we ever have better health?
Thank you. If you are playing and there's a glass window behind you that's broken, the pieces are going to fall all over you. That window is shattered. Those parts are broken. They're always hurt. Every year they're hurt.
A lot of changes needed in New Orleans, and they are not happening. They're just kind of regurgitating the same people over and over again. Until they make a move to get rid of the training staff, it's going to be the same old, because you can't keep playing a broken freaking record, and that's what they're doing.
And there are dudes around the league that are saying this. Like, Boogie Cousins has said this. Like, man, it's a joke over there. Rondo, I believe, said that. Like, there are people around the league that are very respected that are coming out and saying, hey, I played for a lot of teams. It's kind of shitty in New Orleans. Like, the people are good people, good venue. Like, the fans, but it's just not run as professionally as other teams are. And you get what you pay for at the end of the day, like an AAU tournament.
Hopefully, Cooper Flag got shut down because he's turning into Zion and he's already hurt. That could be the only silver lining out of all this.
He's already hurt, he said.
Tommy, let me ask you a serious question. If that guy played for any other school, would you like him?
Absolutely, he would.
No.
Shut up.
You would have a card collection that would be already 12 deep if he played for any other school.
He might have it. He told us that he only buys cards of people you don't like.
He would. He wears T-shirts. He didn't talk enough shit, and they had that hitch in his shot. I couldn't do it.
So let me ask you this: like, right now, you're the card collector. Is he a big thing on the market? Is he a draw? Like, if you go and get some kind of rare Cooper Flag rookie card, you can get some change.
No, not yet, because yes and no. It's just the way the card market works, which I freaking hate. He doesn't have any pro cards yet, so all his stuff is college, and there's a very select few people who get the collegiate cards, no matter who it is, are way cheaper values than what's going to be his actual rookie card.
If Cooper Flag went to UL, you wouldn't be a fan?
I mean, okay, if somebody that good is going to go to UL, maybe.
If he went to North Carolina, would you be a fan?
Well, of course.
I'm a fan of everybody from North Carolina, except for like Larry Drew and Rashad McCants. I would like him. I just wouldn't be as a.
Why you don't like Rashad McCants again?
He was an idiot.
Are you kidding me? Do you know anything? He does nothing but talk shit about North Carolina and Roy Williams.
He got him in trouble.
I wasn't aware. I didn't know that. I don't follow him on social media.
He's a rat.
We could table that. And you could have a whole deep. It's still going on. They got like him and Raymond Felton and your boy Theo Pinson were going at each other on podcasts like maybe 2 months ago. It was all like people just genuinely hate him. They call him a bitch. They say like they don't like him.
Like I love the way that he played as a player, but I didn't realize that he did all that shit off the court. Okay.
That was one of my favorite teams with him and May.
Oh yeah, I loved him while he was there. I can't stand him now. I don't think they should acknowledge him at all.
Hey, I got an idea tonight for our watch along. We can watch the last 3 minutes of the national championship game for basketball. Watch Duke fold. I think that would be good. I'm gonna go find it.
I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. But I don't believe it was the championship game. They lost in the final.
That's right.
Yeah. They didn't
Final Four.
Only the elites make it to the championship game. Let's not get carried away. They didn't make it. Pels tonight, I got the over, but that's just me betting just for the sake of betting something. I don't know. They're playing Oklahoma City. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? Let's talk some wrestling for a second. Goldberg's whining and crying. He had his professional career wrapped up. He lost to Gunther Saturday night's main event. The retirement match I thought it was actually okay. I thought Gunther got a pretty good match out of him. But Goldberg, because he's Goldberg and he didn't win immediately and, win in 6 seconds, was pissed off with how it went, said that the execution wasn't good, said that, they didn't let him do his speech all the way and it got cut off. And he said, let's just say, I'm pissed off at the way I went out because I put so much into it and I don't feel the effort was reciprocated to put a stamp on what I accomplished. So my question is, A, what has Goldberg accomplished in the WWE? Because the answer is absolutely nothing. B, like, he should be, no one wanted to see him against Gunther. No one. So the fact that he even got this opportunity at all, he should be grateful. And then see the last thing that's a parting comment. The dude's just a bitch, man. Go away. No one likes you. The dude's a bitch.
So I went back and watched the main event, and when I got home, when I got home Saturday night, because I just wanted to see how it went. And one of the comments, and I think I put it in our group chat, was, it's been 27 years since he main evented in Atlanta against Hulk Hogan. That's ridiculous. Look, crybaby. I thought Bret Hart was the biggest crybaby in professional wrestling. Goldberg has that beat. There's nothing that was wrong about it. First off, what he earned and what he did was everything was given to him. He was just so happened to be the right place at the right time, and he had the right look. He jacked up every match. He hurt people. He looked like shit, and they kept pushing him to the moon. And they literally switched the championship, in my opinion, so he could have a good match. Because they had to put him in with the best worker in the company. They couldn't put him in with the Uso, who would have that would have been terrible.
And the fact that he had to be in a title match says everything that you need to know.
Right. So they should have cut him off long before that. He shouldn't have been given this opportunity. And the fact that he's sitting there crying about it now, it just lets me further know how shitty of a person he is.
Everybody says the same. If you listen to the wrestling podcast, the ones that are not currently done by people.
That's a good comment, Marcus. Like Bret Hart's crying somewhere that he got kicked in the face.
Yeah, Bret Hart got concussed watching the Goldberg and Gunther match.
Something I didn't put in the note. Do you know he apologized for something in that interview? He apologized. Apparently there was a situation in a match when Gunther chopped him, and he smiled and laughed because he thought it would be harder than that. Bro, get the fuck out of here.
Look, for a while there in WCW, it was all right, okay? Like, the crowd was into it. It was pretty cool. But now in 2025, like you said, 27 years later, this would be like Cal Ripken today saying, hey, Baltimore, I want to go and play the last 20 games of the season and bat fourth. They wouldn't let him do that. But that's what WWE did. They actually gave him that chance to do that. And he still wants to bitch about it? Come on, dude, go away.
He just always whined and cried. Like there's never a time where you've seen, Bill Goldberg is happy and people like him and people are celebrating his accomplishments. I don't remember ever a time anybody has ever really said anything good about him.
No.
He came from the power plant, never learned psychology of wrestling, was never a wrestling fan, never watched wrestling before he got into it, got pushed to the moon, and then just bitched the whole time. So, I mean, fuck this dude. I'm so glad that he's done.
Tommy,
done years ago.
You're a WWE guy. Did you see the match? What were your thoughts? And then what are your thoughts of Goldberg, bitching his way to the retirement hall?
I didn't watch the match itself. I did watch the highlights. I thought, it was I can't believe they gave him almost his curtain moment where he lost when he hurt his knee. That was pretty. They shouldn't even gave him that. I would have much rather watched Ric Flair get hit with an actual bar stool while defecating himself in the middle of the ring than watch Goldberg ever wrestle again. I thought he got pushed way too hard, and they were just trying to make a gimmick of the most undefeated. I mean, yeah, his entrance in the smoke and all that crap was cool when barbed wire tattoos were cool for a solid 2 years back in the 90s. So
that's pretty cool.
Overrated, never happy. And, Marcus is right. He hurts people, hurt Bret Hart, and just I don't think there's anybody more disliked in wrestling than Goldberg and maybe Enzo Amore, who I did like.
Okay, you just saved yourself and said who you liked. Okay, that makes it up for it.
Two things Goldberg did. He changed tattoos in DTB. I'll give you that, Tommy. And second, he didn't join the NWO. The two most positive things that I could tell you about the dude. And I don't even know if one of them was positive.
So let's shift gears and talk about somebody in Goldberg's age bracket, Fauja Singh, who died at 114 years old in London. And you're saying, why the hell are you talking about a dude who died at 114 in London? Well, because this was an Indian-born marathon runner who was called the Turban Torpedo.
I'm glad you researched it, because that is exactly the first. I'm like, what?
The Turban Torpedo, okay? So this is a gentleman who ran his last marathon at the age of 101. Ran his last competitive race, a 6.2 mile half marathon at the age of 101.
Half marathon.
Ran 6.25 miles in 92 minutes at the age of 101 years old. Ran his last marathon at the age of 89. Now, you're wondering what happened and how did the 114-year-old die? Was it just, hey, old age? Got hit by a vehicle while walking on the side of the road, hit his head on the concrete and passed away. And that's some shit. You're 114 years old. You live forever. And your death is something that you should probably call Tommy about because it's a traffic accident that involves an automobile that hits him and causes the guy to die. That's a terrible way to go out at 114, getting hit by a vehicle.
Was it a company vehicle?
Do you think
asking the important questions?
Do you think that guy was in our chat trying to win $250?
A couple weeks ago, absolutely.
If you hear this, better call Bato. You have a legacy to protect, and it's going to be protected with whatever the British currency is. Is that GCB? What do they call that?
Euros?
Pounds or euros?
British pounds.
What's the chances of any of us being able to do anything productive, much less run 6.5 miles at the age of 101? What's the odds of any of us being alive at the age 101?
There's zero chance of that, especially if we get back in the ring.
I say what I want. I bet I would have took this guy in that basketball tournament Nick was trying to.
Yeah, no shit.
In what round?
No. You like second round. You got a 114-year-old dude. You're like, oh yeah, I got this shit.
And then he fucking hustles you.
And this dude shows, and then you get
Who did the fucking rankings
the
here?
Turban torpedo.
Yeah, underseated, 114-year-old just housing people.
Okay, I got a question to stem off of that.
What's up?
If you did live to, let's just say 110, round number.
Right.
What do you think you would want to do at that time? Aside from not die.
I was at a 105-year-old's house today for her birthday party. She wanted to eat cake. That's the only thing she wanted to do. I would want to drink, party, like... At that point, like, you don't give a shit. Like, here's the thing. All the stuff that we avoid doing now because we want to live longer, when you're 100-something years old, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Like, there's no rules at that. I think after 90, there's no rules.
There's no rules. Just drink, whatever. Do whatever you want to do.
I would want to still have my teeth, and I would want to do some kind of terrible illicit drugs just to see what happens.
Just see whatever
all the stuff
happens.
That you're not. I don't know. Maybe heroin, maybe crack. I don't know. Angel dust. So we're doing something.
This person ran a marathon in the year 2011 at the age of 100 in Toronto.
What was the time on that?
I don't know, but a marathon's 26 miles.
Did he wear a suicide vest?
No. He was a torchbearer for the 2012 London Olympics. And listen to this. This is what makes this even more interesting as I'm reading the story. There's not like some dude who was a professional, like an Olympian runner when he was in his 30s. He started running at the age of 89. Like if you're, and he said,
so he had young knees.
So it was a way to deal with depression after his wife and son died, both in a quick amount of time in India. Like that's a random thing, isn't it? Okay, I'm 89. The wife passes away. Depression happens. That's real. That's a very common thing. But not too many old momos and pawpaws say, yeah, fuck, let's go run 5 miles to cope with this. A lot of them, hey, we're going to go to bingo. We're going to do whatever. Not very many 89-year-olds take up marathons.
Probably had a lot to do why he lived to 114.
At Harbor Freight,
I'm pulling up some video.
All good, brother.
This dude run like he's
once he stops running, he was going to die.
Like he's a legit runner.
I'm just hoping to do the marathon from my bed to my front porch to sit in a rocking chair at fucking 75.
Look at this dude.
Marathon.
Yeah. Like he's not just walking, like he's almost beating somebody.
And that's like at 100.
Could we beat that guy in a 40-yard dash?
No.
Yes. Absolutely.
Seeing that, yeah, we could.
The turban slows him down.
Now, we couldn't beat him in a 400-meter dash because I wouldn't be able to finish the 400 meters.
Look at this. When is this?
That's when he was 100, Tommy.
Bro.
Was he in the Boston Marathon?
Bruh.
He was
Oh,
handing out the rice cookers.
I see what you did there.
Just asking.
I know what you're thinking.
Was he hiding in a sailboat or a schooner?
Do you really need a coach at 100 years old?
Do you really need a coach to run?
Well, yeah.
Here we
There
go.
has to be
Here we
somebody-
go.
Somebody there with medical equipment.
The dude has Kevin Durant legs.
103 and still running and has on his shirt. I can't run that fast right now.
Look, they just showed like the 1,097th seed in the basketball tournament. The newborn.
Well, he lives in a nice neighborhood. That's good.
Does he?
How did he end up in
Sarcastic,
Britain? I need
Damien.
to research this.
It's on ESPN.com.
Okay. I like our technology, by
I
the
just
way.
want to know how he ended up in Britain.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, would you want to live where he was born?
So, do we have the question says, do I have another 70 years left in me? That'd be 108. Not a chance.
Nope. If I get a solid 10, I'm going to be happy.
A solid 10.
I didn't think I was living past 30. Tommy and I used to always say that stuff. The way we grew up.
What's the oldest age that any of us are going to be able to like effectively play any sport? And what I mean by that, golf included. Like, you going to still be playing golf at 60?
I mean, if I'm alive, I would like to do something
But like
that requires
fairly competitively?
I'm not competitive now.
All right. Yeah, fair.
Should be better by the time he's 60.
And I just want to go out of the way and say, by the way, Nick, ever since you said that this was the worst game ever, it's become the best game of all time.
100% shooting.
Everyone has made every shot. The Magic are coming back from 10 down with a minute left.
There's probably been 15 missed layups in this game, and now they're shooting like it's the
half-court threes are fought. Like, it's unbelievable how you've jinxed and changed the career fate of everybody on
we're the best shooting teams in the Summer League.
I feel like there are sports being created now that cater to the older folks just to keep them active, like a pickleball type of game. I feel like I could play golf and pickleball at 60.
Yeah.
Curling, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love curling?
I got you.
There's a dude who plays in our men's league who is 68 years old and still runs it up and down the court.
Is his name
That
Corey?
is my motivation.
Corey's not that old, but
I actually don't know his name. We just call him the old man.
Yeah, as you
fair
should.
enough. All right, before we get to rank that, what's going on in the world today when you log on to social media and Elmo's talking shit? Elmo's Twitter got hacked today. And this is something that happens quite a bit, actually. So the question here listed in the notes, and I think it's a legitimate question because I do think that sometimes people kind of have a psychotic break, an anxiety attack, or really drunk, really high, whatever, say really dumb things, post really dumb things, and then say, oh, bro, I got hacked. Tommy, you're in the legal field. You may have even had a couple of clients who had situations like this, allegedly. How often is this a legitimate hacker, and how often is this somebody who just does something stupid under the guise of, oh, bro, I got hacked?
I don't have actual percentages for you, but I would venture to say it's around 50-50. I think a lot of the times it's people doing stuff or just stupidly posting stuff and thinking they're on a burner, or perhaps just like, oh, get this I don't give a fuck attitude and do it. Now, with somebody like Elmo, I don't know. This was a changing of the social media guard. It left their account on or something, but that was some pretty vivid stuff from such a riveted childhood superstar. So
are we going to do a read along?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
If we are to believe that this is actually Elmo, and I have no reason to not believe that it wasn't actually Elmo.
Why does Elmo have a Twitter?
Right, that's exactly what I was saying.
Elmo said Jews should die. So the actual tweet was, Elmo says all Jews should die. Jews control the world and need to be exterminated.
Elmo Adolph's
on Twitter. So Elmo apparently is
solid. That is a solid comment, bro. Elmo Adolph was a legendary referee in the state of Louisiana.
Now, another
R.I.P.
Another post from the Elmo Twitter account called on President Trump to release the Epstein files.
Yep.
The Sesame Street.
Said he was the puppet. He was the puppet of Netanyahu.
Sesame Street guys are even getting on the shit.
Like, it's funny. Senator Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah,
awesome guy,
tweeted at Elmo and said, "I'm forever scarred, Elmo." And then another user tweeted, "I thought we all agreed as a society that Elmo is off limits, Mr. Hacker." Another commented, Elmo crashing out like this was not on my 2025 bingo card. Crazy. You don't wake up and expect to see Elmo talking global politics in such a hateful way. But yeah, shit happens in 2025, man.
I guess that's a way to keep Elmo in the discussion. I mean, since the
turn him heel,
since the Tickle Me Elmo phase years ago, I don't remember ever him being in any type of news or being in discussion for anything.
Thomas the Train had a successful heel run. Elmo could do the same, man.
I'm just shocked. He's only got 600,000 followers. But
I will tell you this. I'm sorry, Tommy. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was going to say, so obviously they addressed it, and they said that an unknown hacker got to it. And then Elmo tweeted, I think it was today or late yesterday, "Thank you for being kind to Elmo and all the people in your neighborhood. Elmo loves you." Elmo is apparently back from his relapse, whatever he did.
I follow one Sesame Street character, Oscar the Grouch. And the reason why I follow Oscar the Grouch is because all the other characters, Big Bird, Elmo, whatever, they all tweet like super positive stuff all day long. And Oscar will subtweet it and basically be like, "Hey, no, shut up. What you're talking about is terrible." So like, it's just constant negativity in character like Oscar the Grouch would. That's worth a follow on X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I'm about to go find my login and follow Oscar the Grouch. That was my favorite. That was my favorite character.
Always positive, has a good outlook on things. Yeah, like Oscar. That's
the dude lives in a freaking garbage can. What do you have to be happy about?
For Damien to my left, Nick to my right, Tommy on the phones. I'm Casey Gisclair. You guys have a tremendous rest of the week. Thanks for listening to the Group Chat Podcast. Adios.
Curtis, leave them pipes alone, no need to swim.